Right, without further ado, let's start our introductions. Let's begin with Texas State.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Caroline Hope. I am the Austin Regional Manager for Texas State.
Dang, with the claps. I love it. Hi, everyone. I'm Isa Castillo. I am the Associate Director of Traditional Admissions at Concordia University, Texas in Austin.
Howdy, my name is Elisa Sanchez, and I am the Regional Advisor for Central Texas for Texas A&M University.
Hello, everyone. My name is Erin Kane. I am one of our senior admissions counselors for Texas Tech University.
Hi, everyone. My name is Fernanda Garcia, and I am the transfer admission counselor at St. Edward's University.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jessica Weisinger, and I am the Senior Program Coordinator of Transfer Admissions at the University of Texas at Austin.
All right, thank you, everyone. Let's start with the first question. Can you provide a short overview of your university? And we'll start from Caroline.
All right. So Texas State University, we are located in San Marcos, Texas. It's going to be our main location. We do also have a location up at Round Rock. So if you are in North Austin, that has a few programs that will be up there. There's about 10 programs there. So either campus, now on the application, you can apply directly to San Marcos or to Round Rock. We are a large public institution with almost 40,000 students. And again, that will be split between Round Rock and San Marcos as well. We are a very diverse campus, and we are a Hispanic serving institution. And we do have almost 99, we have 99 different majors.
So Concordia University, Texas is a small faith-based institution. We're liberal arts, and we're located in Austin, Texas, about 30 minutes away. It depends on Austin traffic, as you guys might know. Our top 3 majors are business, kinesiology, and nursing, but we have plenty of other majors you can choose and pick from. We were off of 35, so some of you might know that, but we are now off of 620 and 2222. I was a student there and I loved it because it was so diverse. There's many ways that you can get involved, and we have a huge partnership with ACC. So all ACC students do get their application fee waived to us. So make sure to apply. We have just under 2,000 students on our campus, and we have a 15-to-1 faculty to staff student ratio.
All right, for Texas A&M, we are located in College Station, Texas. On our main campus, again, which is in College Station, we have a little over 71,000 students. With our branch campuses combined, we have an additional 8,000 students, and that would include our Galveston campus, our McAllen Learning Center, our School of Law in Fort Worth, and then our various health centers throughout the state of Texas. We offer over 130 different undergraduate programs, so we little bit of something for everybody. It's a large university, but definitely has what we like to say, small hometown family feel, since there's so much to get involved in. It's very easy for you to kind of find your place, make it your home away from home, and definitely have a great experience while you're there with us. Along with that, let me see, we have over 1,000 student-run organizations. So again, something for everybody. And we as well are also now a Hispanic serving institution and a top-tier research institution as well.
All right. So just a little bit about Texas Tech University. We are located in Lubbock, Texas. We're out in West Texas, so we're pretty far. We do offer over 150 different majors and programs. We also have about 41,000 students that are enrolled at Texas Tech currently, and we're only one of 9 university systems in the country that does have a lot of different options beyond your bachelor's degree that include like a law school, medical, things like that as well. And then also with our student organizations, we have over 600. We are a Hispanic serving institution and also part of Phi Theta Kappa.
St. Edward's University is located right off of South Congress, so very close by. We are also kind of a smaller private institution. We're a Hispanic serving institution. Our campus is made up of about like 3,000 students. So again, very kind of close-knit community. We offer over 60 majors, one of our newer ones being nursing. And then we also have some options for what we like to call transfer-friendly majors, since they kind of offer like a hybrid format so that you could take some courses online as well as in person. We also have over 100 student organizations on campus, and just different opportunities for you to get involved and get to know different people on campus.
Hi, everyone. So the University of Texas at Austin is downtown in the heart of Austin. We opened in 1883 with one building and about 200 students. So if you visited UT Austin at any time, you know, we've definitely grown from that one thing and only 200 students. As of present day, we have about 40,000 undergraduates and about 11,000 graduate students. We have an 18-to-1 student to faculty ratio, which I'm proud of because we have such a large student population that we're able to make campus feel smaller with our 18-to-1 student to faculty ratio, our first year interest groups, and our transfer year interest groups. There's over 1,300 student organizations on campus. So if you can't find your organization, which is kind of highly impossible, you can start your own organization with about 5 friends and $5. It's very simple. And of course, we're known for our sports teams and our research. So in our strategic plan, our new 10-year strategic plan, we aim to be the highest public research institution in the country. So just a little bit about the University of Texas if you haven't visited our campus yet.
All right, thank you for those answers. The next question is, what are the admission requirements for your institution?
All right, so this is my favorite question because one, this is what everyone wants to know. But the beauty for transferring to Texas State is we will take you at any point of your journey. Hello. Okay. So with our admission criteria, if you have 1 to 14 hours, you have to have a 2.0, but you also have to meet freshman admission requirements. So your high school transcript, and we don't need SAT or ACT scores, but we will look at your class rank and the grades you got in high school. We don't like that. So as soon as you hit 15 hours, we will no longer look at anything from high school. We'll just look at your AC transcript, and we only look at your GPA, and any other schools that you've gone to will kind of make a cumulative GPA. So 15 to 29 hours, you have to have a 2.5 GPA. Thank you. So you have to have a 2.5 GPA if you have 15 to 29 hours. As soon as you hit 30 hours or more, it goes down to a 2.25 GPA. I have these booklets in the back too, so if you couldn't understand what I was saying, it's back here as well. And also, it is a cumulative GPA, so if you've gone to ACC and any other schools, we will count all of that.
You made it through. So for Concordia, you need a 2.0 GPA and your official transcripts to get through the admissions process. If for whatever reason you don't meet that 2.0 requirement, we will look at your high school GPA. We take students as long as you have 12 credit hours to transfer in. I highly recommend meeting with me, scheduling an appointment so we can game plan, because if you don't want to transfer in that early, I'd always love to partner with you to plan out the rest of your time at ACC so then you can transfer in. That's pretty much it.
All right, so for A&M, it's a little bit different of a process. So in order for a student to be eligible for transfer across the board, you have to meet our university minimums regardless of major. So at a minimum, you need 24 hours of earned transferable credit and at least a 2.5 GPA grade point average. So that is just the minimum threshold for you to be considered for admission. Now, if you're wanting to be competitive, that's going to vary by major. So every major kind of sets the tone for what they're looking for. They let us know what they want in their students, and that's how we review them. So some majors are, yes, more competitive to get into others, just because they have sometimes 8 times as more applications and they have spaces available. So that does make it more competitive to get in. But on our transfer admissions website, we have what's called our transfer core sheets. And we just updated our ones to reflect the requirements for 2024, 2025. So those are up on our transfer website. So if you are considering coming to us, definitely encourage you or highly encourage you to look at our transfer core sheet so you can see specifically what your major is asking of you. Some majors will say any 24 hours, and some majors are very specific where you need to have a certain set of sciences completed, certain maths, maybe you need a foreign language. So again, that's important to know. And again, it varies by major. So it just depends on what you're looking for. And the same would be true like with your GPA. There's maybe a handful of majors that would actually highly consider a 2.5, but most of our majors, 2.75, 3.0, up into a 3.75, which is our business requirement. So again, it always just depends on your program. So that's more important, is knowing what your program's looking for. But again, if you're just wanting to be considered 24 hours and a 2.5 minimum, again, to be competitive, look at those transfer core sheets. And again, they are currently up on our website for our upcoming application cycles.
Okay, so for Texas Tech transfer admissions, if you have at least 12 to 23 hours and you have a 2.5 cumulative GPA, that will be considered automatic admission to the university. If you have over 24 hours and a 2.25, that will also be considered as assured admission. Of course, some of our majors, like A&M, we do have specific courses that you may be required, like engineering or business, as an example. They do require higher GPAs. But with that, even if you don't have the GPA or something like that, we do have Explore programs. So if you did qualify for assured admission, but not necessarily the requirements of the College of Engineering, we have Explore STEM, where we get you with an Explore advisor, and they'll help make sure you take the right courses and get that GPA to go right into that program that you were intending for.
So the admission process and requirements for St. Edward's University are very straightforward. All we really request when you're applying is, of course, your application. There is a 500-word essay requirement, and then official transcripts from any institution you've attended before. We don't necessarily have like a minimum number of credits that you need in order to transfer in, but if you have less than 30 hours of college level credit, we will also request your official high school transcript. Typically, as you're kind of going into the admission process, you're automatically admitted into any one of our majors, with the exception of nursing. So that kind of has a separate internal application process. You must be admitted into the university and have your general education requirements and nursing prerequisites completed in order to apply for nursing. And then additionally, if you are a Texas Core Complete student, you no longer have any additional general education requirements as you're transferring in. And then just to kind of like a little side note, but we are still accepting applications for the fall on a space available basis. Make sure that you're kind of constantly looking at the website for any deadlines and things like that. We are on a rolling admission basis. So typically once we receive all of your documents, you should be getting a final admission decision within 1 to 2 weeks. And we have a holistic approach to our reviewing process. So usually a 2.5 cumulative GPA will make you a good candidate for admission. But we're also happy to look at like any letters of recommendation, resumes, and things like that that you'd want to add to strengthen your application.
For UT Austin, so we require your admissions application on Common App or Apply Texas. This year, we're highly recommending that students use Common App as it focuses better with our admissions systems, and we're able to receive your documents easier when you apply to our institution. We do require that students have 24 hours of transferable coursework, and you can determine if your coursework is transferable through our automated transfer equivalency system, which is on our admissions website. So if you have credit from any Texas junior, community, or university college, you can use this system to see if your courses are transferable, and it will show you what your courses will transfer to UT Austin as. Additionally, we have community college transfer transfer guides. We even have them specific to ACC. They are on our admissions website as well. They're broken down by our colleges and schools, and you can see the recommended courses that you can take at ACC that will apply to the major you're interested in. On the recommended courses or the guides, those are just recommendations. So you're not required to take all of the courses on the ACC course list as they're just recommended, but there will be prerequisites on the guides. Those are required. Some of our majors do have prerequisites. So nursing, business, engineering, architecture, geosciences, just to name a few. Those colleges and schools, they do have prerequisites for entry. So you must have the 24 credit hours and the prerequisites, which are also listed on our admissions website. We do not have a minimum or maximum GPA for admission, but you want to have a competitive GPA for admission. So there's no exact GPA that's going to get you admitted. There's no exact GPA that's going to get you denied. It's what's competitive to you, what you put your best foot forward as in your coursework is what's going to help you through our holistic review process. We do accept letters of recommendations. You can submit up to 2 letters of recommendations. We say keep it at 2 because after 2, it gets a bit repetitive. So try to keep it at 2. And then that is an optional item. So you're not required to submit letters of recommendations. And if you may qualify for automatic transfer admission, then we will need your high school transcript. If you're an international student, we will need your high school transcript showing grades 9. But if that does not apply to you, then we won't need your high school transcript, as well as no SAT or ACT test score is required at this time for transfer admission.
All right, next question is, how much is tuition and what resources are available to help students pay for college?
Okay, let's hope the mic works this time. So for tuition and fees for Texas State, it's going to be about $12,000 for the full year, a little over $6,000 a semester. That's going to be based off of 15 hours. So that's if you take 5 classes each semester, that's going to be about what the cost will be. We do accept FAFSA and TASFA. My biggest piece of advice, fill that out as soon as it opens, which fingers crossed will be October 1st this year. So keep your eyes on that, but we will accept FAFSA as well as TASFA. Biggest thing I always tell transfer students too is to apply to our scholarships. So we have Bobcat Online Scholarship System scholarships. I know that's a mouthful. You can just remember BOSS. If you go to our website, type in BOSS, it'll take you there. And with that, you'll do a general application, and then that's going to be any department at Texas State giving out a scholarship. That is where you will find those. It will actually recommend scholarships for you to apply for. So if you're a business student and there's a business scholarship, it will recommend you apply to those. If there's a transfer specific scholarship, you can apply to that as well. We also have transfer specific scholarships. If you have at least 30 credit hours and a 3.25, you will qualify for a transfer scholarship. That's automatically awarded. The higher the scholarship, the higher the GPA. And so you don't need to apply to that. It's automatically awarded if you qualify for it.
So I'm happy to announce that we just did a tuition reduction of nearly 40%. It used to be $37,500 and now it's $23,500 for the year. This is an all-inclusive tuition model, which means that all fees are included in this. Graduation fees and books are being provided at no additional cost. Now, if you have a GPA of a 2.75 or higher, you automatically qualify for a transfer scholarship. The higher the GPA, the higher the scholarship. We strongly recommend all students to submit their FAFSA as well, because we have institutional aid that we're able to offer, but it's based off of your FAFSA. Since we are a private institution, through FAFSA, we're able to get the Texas Equalization Grant. Sorry, that's a mouthful. But you have to have a GPA of a 2.5, and a lot of transfer students don't know that. So please make sure that your GPA is at least that amount if you're looking at a private institution, because we're able to offer you $5,810 through FAFSA with that. I would say it's really important that you apply early on, because there's other institutional scholarships that you can apply for depending on the department or program that you're hoping to get into. On top of that, though, I do want to include the ACC promo code to waive your application fees. We're always willing to help ACC students. So if there's additional assistance that's needed or you're wanting support financially, you just need to talk to us and we'll make it happen.
All right, so for Texas A&M, our tuition for the year is very similar to Texas State. It's a little over $12,000 for the year. I will say though, some majors do have a higher price tag on campus. So like our engineering programs, business, they tend to have a little bit of a higher price tag just because of the different opportunities and things you're going to have access to while you're on campus. So we just charge you upfront for that. But again, around 12, let's say 13 to 14,000 for the year. That's also based off 15 credit hours a semester, so 30 total hours for the year. If you're wanting kind of like an all-inclusive number, we have it set roughly at around $29,000 to $32,000 because again, it will vary by your major. And when we do that all-inclusive, we include, your books, your expended cost, your expected cost of living, your personal expenses, travel expenses, which obviously is going to vary by student. We do offer scholarships. So when you apply for admissions to A&M, you're automatically applying for scholarships because a scholarship application is built into the admission side of it. So as long as you apply for admissions, you're also automatically applying for scholarships. We do not have you individually apply for scholarships. It's just one and all-inclusive application. If you're admitted, we will automatically consider you for every opportunity that you qualify for based off the information that was provided to us within your application, your essay, your transcripts, the FAFSA, TASFA, if that was sent our way as well, which we highly encourage every single student to do. Even if you tell me I'm not going to qualify, I'm still going to encourage you to do it. Never know right unless you try. So definitely go ahead and send that our way. We as well do have college-specific scholarships too. So if on the application, let's say you listed the Mays Business School, if that year the Mays Business School got funding towards the end of the application, there's a question that will be asked, would you like to be considered for the business scholarship? If you just check off yes, you're automatically considered for it. So if your individual college or school has scholarships to give out, that will be built in as well to your application. We do offer PTK scholarship as well. It is not a automatically given scholarship. It is a competitive based scholarship. But if you are an active member in Phi Theta Kappa, you just check off yes. We basically verify that you're in the system and we can consider you for that opportunity as well. Another thing, I got approval from my boss to talk about this because it just went into effect. So I had to write down notes because I'm still learning about it too. But we now have basically what's equivalent for a Regent Scholar, which is for freshmen. We now have a Transfer Luminary Scholarship, which went to 50 of our students for this upcoming fall semester, fall of 2024. So this is the first time that went into effect. And I was just told this morning that we do have funding at least for the next 2 years, so I am able to talk about it. It is not yet on our website, so hopefully that'll go up soon. But again, it's our Transfer Luminary Scholarship. It is available to first-generation college students, and we can finance $3,000 for the year. If our funding increases, that amount could potentially increase along the way as well. You do have to be a full-time student at Texas A&M, so a minimum of 12 hours each semester. It is a renewable scholarship for about 3 years, so hopefully that'll cover the time, at your time at Texas A&M. And it is obviously based off financial need. Currently, it's about $40,000 of financial need if you're within that threshold, which is verified through your FAFSA or TASFA application. But no, that's definitely, we're really excited. It's really one of the first scholarships that we have on our campus that is specific to our transfer students. Being honest, all of our funding primarily does go to our freshman applicants. So we have been working really hard to try to get a transfer-specific scholarship. So our Luminary Transfer Scholarship is our first step. And again, it is offered, or it is an option for our first-generation students. Along with that, something else that we have that has been in place for many years, but not a lot of students know about it, is called our Aggie Assurance Program. Our Aggie Assurance Program does cover the cost of tuition and fees by grants and loans for students whose family income or contribution is $60,000 or less. So we would automatically provide scholarships or grants to cover your cost of attending the university. We have also made some adjustments to that where we can also offer tuition support grants and loans based off availability to students' family income is greater than 60 but less than 130,000. And those can range from $500 to $1,500. So just know there are various opportunities for you to be considered for. All you need to do is, of course, do your application and then definitely do your FAFSA or your TASFA because that's how we verify all of this information. But yeah, that's what I have for you regarding our assistance programs at A&M.
All right. So for the cost of Texas Tech, depending on how many hours you're taking that semester, for the average, if you're taking about 30 hours for a full year, it's going to be about $11,852. And how it works with the tuition fees, that's all included. Books and things like that are additional. That just depends on which books, if you decide to stay on campus, things like that. For the transfer scholarships, we have 2 merit scholarships that are included in the application. So if you apply, you have at least 30 hours in a 3.0 GPA, we will offer that $3,000 scholarship. If you apply and you have at least 60 hours in a 3.5, it'll be a $4,000 scholarship. Those are both going to be renewable for 3 years, and you will receive that scholarship every single year. We also have the Red Ready Guarantee program. So if you are a transfer student that has their associate's degree by the time you start your term, if you have your family adjusted gross income is 65,000 or less, we cover your tuition and mandatory fees. So all of the additional scholarships you receive, those can go toward books, transportation, whatever they need to go to. And then also with FAFSA, things like that, we do have FAFSA, TAFSA, and then also with PTK, we do accept those scholarships. And then like every other university too, there are specific scholarships for your department. So if you are going to the College of Education or things like that, there are additional external scholarships you can apply for separately.
So at St. Edward's University, we kind of have a flat rate tuition. So whether you're taking anywhere from like 12 to 18 credit hours, the semester is going to be around like 24,000. I will say, despite that being kind of an intimidating number at the beginning, there are a lot of different scholarship opportunities. So as you're kind of applying for admission, you're automatically considered for our transfer scholarships. Typically, if you have like 30 hours of college level credit, full-time semester in either spring or fall, and have a 3.0 GPA or above, you would be considered for our 16,000 merit scholarship. And then kind of similar requirements with a 3.5 cumulative GPA or above, you would be considered for 18,000 excellence scholarship. The really nice thing is there's no additional application needed for these, so you'll be considered for these merit scholarships upon initial review process, and they will renew themselves for up to 3 years without you having to do anything additional. We also have a lot of different outside scholarship opportunities that we're constantly kind of updating on our website. And if we have specific scholarships to your major or things like that, we'll be sure to communicate those with you. Additionally, if you are part of Phi Theta Kappa, there is a 2,500 additional scholarship available. And I think that's it.
Okay, so last question that we had, I didn't mention that we do have another requirement in transfer admissions. We have a resume requirement. So you must submit an expanded resume to us through our admissions process. And we say expanded because you can list up to 5 years of past experience, and it can be as many pages long be. So it doesn't have to be tailored to your major. It can really include all of your hobbies, anything that you do outside of school, and also anything that you do related to your major. So our tuition fees, they range around 10,000 to 13,000 for the academic year. It depends on the major that you select. So the Macomb School of Business, Engineering, those are going to be on the higher end of that 13,000. Everything else is going to fall to the lower to mid range. So you're looking at about 5,000 to 6,000 per academic semester. So 10,000 to 13,000 for the year. We do have scholarships and transfer admissions. So we have the transfer and continuing student scholarship. You do have to apply to that separately. The good thing about that scholarship, though, is that if you are admitted to UT Austin and you don't get the scholarship in your first semester, or you do get the scholarship in your first semester, you can apply to it every semester. So it's a continuing student and transfer scholarship that you can apply to. On our Common App, on our Texas One Stop website, they have a scholarship finder tool that you can use to apply to outside scholarships as well. We do have our Texas Advanced Commitment. If your adjusted gross income, your FAFSA or your TASFA is 65,000 or less, you have tuition coverage at UT Austin. It is tuition only, so it's not towards housing. It is just your tuition. But if it's over 65,000 and up to 125,000, then we offer you tuition support. And it's support because it's different how you fall in that income range of 65,000 to 125,000. And then lastly, we have our Texas Exes, which is what we call our alums, our alumni network. They have scholarships on their website, and they're not catered only for students. So I do highly encourage you to go to our texasexes.org scholarships website, and you can apply to the scholarships that are listed there as well.
All right, thank you. My next question is, what type of student would be successful at your institution? So maybe you can talk about the qualities, strengths, and values that these students possess.
Okay, so I'm probably gonna give y'all the most cliche answer ever. But I am a firm believer that any student can be successful at Texas State. I know I mentioned already we are a very diverse campus, so there's not one specific kind of student, not one specific characteristic or strength or quality that we are looking for within an applicant. A successful student at Texas State is someone that's gonna put themselves out there, that's gonna go to their professor's office hours, they're gonna go to the library, they're gonna utilize all of the resources that are included in their tuition and fees to really maximize their time at Texas State and to be a successful student at Texas State. I'll kind of talk about some resources in the next question that can help you become a successful transfer student, especially as well. But like I said, I'm just a firm believer that any student can be successful at Texas State. There's not kind of a one shoe fits all student that we're looking for.
I want to echo what Caroline just said. We had a group of ACC students come on our campus, I want to say December of last year. And I remember just hearing the feedback of, wow, it's so diverse. Wow, I didn't expect this. The thing about Concordia is we accept all students from all backgrounds. You don't have to be Christian to attend. We are a HSI institution. We're first gen friendly. So really, we're going to equip you with all the resources and things that you need to be successful. And essentially, it's on you to utilize them. And let's say you're not utilizing them. That's okay. Concordia has such a caring community where they want to step in and meet you where you're at. So if you want education, provide it for you. That's one of the big things about Concordia is we're here to eliminate and break down any barriers for students to have a higher education experience.
Obviously, just adding to that, I mean, if for A&M, if you're wanting to learn and grow, as an individual, be provided with different opportunities. We always like to say, if you're willing to become a part of something bigger than yourself, Texas A&M is a place for you to be at. Just because, again, we are also a very diverse campus as well. There's just so much for you to be involved in. We have tons of resources available to our campus for all of our students. And all of this is available on our website. So again, if you're just wanting to work hard, to learn, to expand your knowledge, again, become a part of something bigger, we can definitely assist you at Texas A&M. We would love to have everybody. Everybody is capable of making that journey over to us. I know next question we'll talk about this too, but again, if you connect with us early enough, we can kind of plan everything out for you to make sure if we are your end goal, then we can go ahead and make that happen. Even if it might take a semester longer than what you're hoping for. Again, if you're willing to put in the work, we're here to assist you, get you on over to campus. And then once you're on campus, just know the assistance continues. We kind of do like a handoff. We'll give you to our transition academic programs on campus, which is our transfer student program office, which is fantastic. They're there to assist you from day one you step foot on campus all the way up until you graduate, even after you graduate. Our Aggie network is phenomenal. So again, always once an Aggie, always an Aggie again is something else that we like to say as well. But no, campus is obviously open to everybody. We would love to have you with us. Again, if you're willing to put in the work with us, we can get you where you need to be.
All right. So, to me, to be successful, and that's for anywhere, it starts with your own journey for that success. So, of course, it starts here at ACC. So, getting in contact with all these different resources and departments here at ACC, and then, of course, once you're ready to transfer, starting to look at other universities to transfer to, getting in contact with the representatives. So, getting in contact with any of us, just to know what that process looks like as a transfer student. And then we hand it off to people on campus that can help you as well. So getting in contact with people in those departments, within your major, anything, any resources on campus, like we all mentioned, you pay for it in your tuition and fees. So you want to make sure that you're using those different resources on campus, going to the library, going to study rooms, having those different student organizations that you're a part of, just being successful it depends on your university, of course, but just going to meet those different people and the departments that'll be helpful for you.
So, St. Edward's University, I think, is a place that has a little bit of everything for everyone. Truly, like everyone else has kind of mentioned, utilizing those resources. We have, again, we're kind of a smaller institution. So we're, very focused on kind of like our community. It's a very diverse and united community. And we want to make sure that you're kind of utilizing those resources. When you're kind of going into St. Edward's, you'll have an assigned admissions counselor, an assigned financial counselor, an academic success coach, and then, of course, like faculty members that will also provide you with different opportunities. But I think that, I can echo like what everyone else was kind of saying to just utilize your resources and really focus on kind of what you want to do and put yourself out there.
A student that would be the most successful at UT Austin would be a student that would align with our core values. And two that I would point out would be learning, and then the other one would be discovery. So a student that's really interested in challenging the norms, really discovering something new. As in our strategic plan, we really want to aim to be the highest research university in the nation. And so that takes the students really having interest. And research can be in other domains that are not just science. There's research in social work, there's research in psychology. And so really having that passion and that drive to learn and seek things on your own, it's what's going to help you be successful at UT Austin and really getting involved in our campus. So this is why we also require the resume, because we want to see how were you involved in your community before you or had interest in UT Austin? What were you doing at ACC? Because those things mean it's going to translate to what you're going to give to our campus. And we want you to study abroad when you get to UT Austin. There are several study abroad experiences for transfer students. We want you to participate in research. We want you to go to games. We want you to have Texas pride. So really a student that's going to embody all of that and contribute that to our campus, where we can contribute that back to the student. It's what's really going to help you be a successful student at UT.
All right, thank you. And now for our final question before we open the floor for your questions in person and online. What advice or helpful tips do you have for students planning to apply to your institution?
So with this question, we're probably all going to have very similar answers. And so I'm the lucky one that gets to go first. My biggest piece of advice is to contact us. If you're interested in any university you see up here, grab our business card before you leave and send us an email. Definitely grab one of these too. If you're interested in Texas State, we have a lot of resources to help our transfer students and specifically ACC students. I meet with ACC students virtually, whether it's on a Teams call, a phone call. I'm at the campuses all the time, all of the campuses too. And we do have someone up at North Austin dedicated to those northern ACC campuses as well. We have transfer planning guides that you can find one for every single one of our programs that we offer. So if you're interested in computer science, you'll go to our website, type in TPG or transfer planning guide, and it will have exactly every single course that you could possibly take at ACC. It will have that course on there and then how it transfers to Texas State. That way you're not just taking a bunch of random classes and just praying that they transfer over to our computer science program. We also have a transfer equivalency system. Maybe you have some classes from another university, another college. You want to see how they transfer over. You're just doing some planning. You can put that course in, and then it'll tell you again exactly how it transfers to Texas State. And you can work backwards. You can see the course at Texas State, and then you can see what course that is here at ACC. Those programs can be kind of confusing to understand and to kind of look at. So that's when I always encourage students to set up an appointment with me. It's a really easy link that you just click on and you pick the time that works for you. And then we just meet. I'll call you or we'll meet on a Zoom. And then we can just go over all of the resources again to make sure that you are setting yourself up for success. And then with that being said, too, we have a transfer center on our campus as well. It is separate from admissions. So you may have met with some of them as well. They do in-person kind of visits and in-person appointments on the ACC campuses. If you're looking at planning out long term, maybe you just got to ACC, maybe you've only done a semester, they're going to be a great point of contact to really maybe find the right program for you, get connected. But then also, once you become a student at Texas State, they do programming for current transfer students. So they'll do FAFSA nights, they'll get y'all connected. That way, the transfer community still has that group of people once they get to Texas State as well. And then last thing, we evaluate every transcript we receive. So even if maybe you haven't applied yet, you can still submit your transcript to us, reach out to me, and I can send you that evaluation. It'll tell you again exactly how all of your classes will transfer over. Once you apply, you can also send me an email and I can send that to you as well. And that's a really good way to kind of plan out your semesters too.
Nice. I echo everything she just said. So 3 tips. 1, be open-minded. There's so many wonderful universities here and that come to ACC all the time. Be open-minded to them. Even if you've been sold on one school that's been your dream school. I've had so many students be set on a dream, and I'm not saying don't dream, please dream. But also have a plan B, C, and D. You just never know. And you never know the opportunities. Like, I was so anti-private education because I was just unaware of private education. I had so many common misconceptions. And then I went on a tour at Concordia and I fell in love with it. And a lot of times students do too. So I would just really encourage you guys, come up here and ask us questions, even if you're not into a public institution or a large institution or a small, whatever it is. Be uncomfortable and be willing to ask those questions. Secondly, use your resources. ACC hosts so many events. There's so many times when I'm on Instagram, I'm like, dang, I want to go because there's free food. They're waiving promo codes and application fees and all this fun stuff. So use the resources that ACC offers because there's a ton and you're paying for them. So why not use it? And then the third would be, again, contact me. Come to campus. Let's work together. Let's create a degree plan. Let's plan out your time at ACC and at Concordia. Who knows? I can offer you a application fee waiver. I can offer you a scholarship. There's so many opportunities that I can offer you. You just have to come talk to me. So just really remain in communication with whatever school you're hoping to pursue.
Yeah, so same. I always tell students definitely be open-minded, as she just said. Give yourself the opportunity to explore your options because everybody has options. Definitely, if you are interested in any of us or any other institution that may not be here today, plan out a visit to step foot on that campus if at all possible. Definitely see what it feels like to be a part of it. Definitely going during the school year, I always feel is most beneficial just because you kind of see things in action as they're happening, see where students are hanging out, just kind of what that atmosphere looks like. A lot of times you're either going to love it or you're just going to hate it and it's not for you. So I always say do that early so that way you can plan out ahead of time before you invest so much time. And then by the time you get there, like, okay, this is not what I envisioned. And so that way it's not too late, right, to change that plan. But definitely, again, if you want to come to our campus, we do campus tours Monday through Friday all year round. We also have a virtual option. We set that up, when COVID hit, when nobody could come to campus. So it's actually really great. So if you're not able to physically go to campus, but you still kind of want to do a tour, kind of see what it looks like, you can do both a virtual tour of our campus, of our dining facilities, our residence facilities as well, if you're interested. So again, I definitely encourage all of you to take a look at that, not just for A&M, but again, for any institution that you're looking at. Obviously, plan ahead as well. You want to make sure you start the process early so you don't run into an issue where, okay, I wanted to apply this semester, but now you're telling me I don't have the right classes under my belt. And just know that everybody's admissions process, as you heard, varies. It's very different. What we require is different from other institutions. So again, always make sure you know those differences as well. So that's why, again, planning ahead, using your resources, as they said, is very, very helpful. ACC, obviously, as y'all already know, y'all are here today, has fantastic resources they provide to their transfer students. All of us do make, the campus visit. We set up a table. Some of us might even do appointments on campus if it's allowed. I know know during their transfer week, which is in September, there's going to be a lot going on. A lot of colleges, not just us, but other universities are going to be visiting. So again, take advantage of those opportunities that are being presented to you. And then again, contact me as well. You know, if you're interested in A&M, or if you just want to know like, hey, is this a possibility? Reach out to me. Let's go over your academic plan. Let's go over what your journey has been, what your goals are. You know, what are your career goals or your goals after graduation? You know, can we help get you there? And if for some reason we're not, you know, I say, you know what, but let's look into this institution. They have a better program, or maybe it's a program we don't offer. You know, we can steer you towards another direction, because the goal is for you to continue your education. And, you know, we want to make sure that you're in the best place for you as an individual. So don't ever hesitate to reach out to any one of us. It's what we're here for. If you have questions about your coursework, when should I apply? Am I taking the right classes? We can give you the links to all the tools that you have access to as a prospective applicant. Or again, if you just want to build that relationship with me, that is always very beneficial, because you never know what can come out of that. I will just let you know, at the end of the year, I get my own funding to give out to students that I've worked very closely with, and the student, not the parent, that I've worked very closely with. And I'll say, you know what, I've worked with this student this whole semester, this whole year. I'm going to give this student a scholarship from my own money that you can stack on top of what you may already be receiving as well. So again, there are some benefits to keeping in touch. So again, don't ever hesitate to reach out. It's exactly what we're here to do, is to help you guys. So don't be shy. We'd love to talk to you.
All right. I have 3 quick tips. They're easy to remember. Number 1 is knowing deadlines. So as you heard, we all have different dates, different deadlines, priority deadlines, rolling admissions, all that. So just knowing those dates, especially when you're starting to apply to these universities and schools, knowing that. Number 2 is visiting campuses, attending events. So we host events. Like sometimes there may be some in Austin. It may be some on our campuses. There may be different events that we hold specifically for transfer. So, especially with Texas Tech, we have Transfer Visit Day on our campus in Lubbock. So that's one in the fall. We have 2 in the spring. We also have application workshops in the summertime. So we have one tomorrow. If you attend, we waive your application fee. But that's at our office here in Austin at the Arboretum. And then the third thing is just going to be getting in contact with everybody, all your resources available. And then with Texas Tech, we do have a transfer advising team. So if you have questions about how your credits can transfer from ACC, if you've attended other colleges or universities, how those would transfer as well. We also have 2 programs that you can use yourself. So if you wanted to use our transfer equivalency search, or DegreeWorks, it creates your own sample degree plan for your major. And then if you have questions further about that, you can also reach out to our transfer advising team.
Thank you. So a lot of my tips are going to be kind of similar, but I think the very first one would be definitely going into campus. I think that's kind of the true way to really see if you see yourself there and get to know the community and the environment. We pride on having kind of like very personalized visits and things like that. So you can always meet with, a faculty member or a current student, go on a campus tour, talk to us. I think that's kind of one of the most important things, to just really get familiar with your different options. I think the second is also just kind of, I kind of get to work with all kinds of students, and I have my introverts that kind of like to go on the website and do their own research. I have my extroverts that love to meet with me and schedule appointments with me. But I think, being familiar with those resources that you have here at ACC and then at other institutions, I think we can all agree that we're always happy to answer questions and help. So don't be shy, don't be scared to reach out, and we can certainly help you answer any questions that might come up. Another really quick thing is, once you are in the institution, make sure that you're also familiar with the resources that you have there. We, for example, have our career and professional development office. So even after you graduate, that's kind of a service that you'll have forever, basically. And we'll be able to kind of help you anywhere from like your resume, mock interviews, finding job opportunities, and things like that.
So just as we've all said, I echo everything that they have already shared, but I will add on So that to really research the majors that you're applying to at our specific institutions. A lot of times we get questions and students are just like, I want to major in business. And we're like, why do you want to major in business? And they're like, well, someone told me I should major in business. I would be successful in business. And it's like, well, do you know if that's your true interest? There are so many things on our campus that you can have a business certificate or a business minor with. Even we have like wealth and financial planning minors. So across our majors, there are a lot of overlap where you can really hit all of your academic interests while also majoring something that you are truly interested and passionate about. A tip that I would also give students, I enjoy reading applications where I can really see a student's personality, where a student is not talking about other things I can find on their application, like they have good grades or they won this award. I can see that in your resume. I can see that on your transcript. But I really want you to think of essays, and maybe I'm speaking for all of our institutions, maybe I shouldn't, but I really love essays where it feels like a coffee chat, where we're just in person and you're just telling me more about you. I can see your personality, I can see your interest in the university and the major. So really tackle any applications that you have that way. It really helps you stand out when you go through any of our admissions processes, that we get to really see who you are as a person and how that can really contribute to our academic society. And as what everybody has already said, you have great resources here at ACC. There are a lot of resources that are not like this at other community colleges. So you really should take advantage of your advising teams here, the different offices that you have, career planning. They are really well versed, especially in the University of Texas. Sometimes they point out things that I didn't even see. So you really have really good advising teams here that can help you with your academic journey if you're interested in transitioning to UT Austin to finish your degrees.
All right. Thank you so much, everyone, our panelists, for these lovely answers, thoughtful answers. Yeah, and thank you so much to our online audience and our in-person audience for attending. And with that, we'll conclude our recorded section of the program.